All right, so we got a undefeated 5-0 Darklord Deck Profile. Only reason I'm filming this is because it's the new format since the Glorious Gallery came out. And I took this to a 20-man locals yesterday. That's usually really competitive, usually has more than 30 players. But there was a regional on Saturday, so that's probably why there was a few less. But yeah, variance worked out to my advantage, so we're filming the deck profile from the car today. So it's nothing too crazy, but I was just hella surprised that it did so well. So and I just played my ass off and got good RNG, to be honest. So I figured I'd share it with you. First round was against Cool Tune. Ironically, the only dice rolls I won in the 5 rounds were against Cool Tune, so that's probably why I won. But round 1, won against Cool Tune. Round 2 was against Branded. He won the dice roll. Probably should have won, but he didn't know what Darklords do enough, so I was able to blow up his entire field and just go for game. Match 3 was against another Cool Tune. Like I said, won the dice roll, took it to him, and somehow 2-0'd him. He bricked game 2, so lucky me. Match 4 was against Yummy Elf Note. That was an interesting deck. He knew his deck well, and it was pretty tough, but I still pulled it off. And then match number 5 was, it should have been against Sky Striker, but he dropped from the tournament, so I played against it was kind of a weird match for the finals, but it was against Buster Blader, fucking Bestial, fucking Slop, there's all that shit. He had a lot of different things. So if I remember, he had 3-4 engines in the deck. But it all went well. I 2-0'd him. So, yeah, 5-0, undefeated, 20-man locals. Let's just fucking get with the profile. It's been forever. Anyway, we got 3 Jehudi, best card, 3 Googleette, real best card. This is pretty standard list, to be honest with you. It plays the Sulfur engine, which I want to experiment a little bit. I know some people play Power Patron and such and Branded, but this worked for me yesterday, and I might even hopefully get to play tomorrow, and we'll see how it does tomorrow too. 3 Zixul or Jixul, whatever the fuck, great card, especially when you open it with Googleette. Definitely mandatory. 1 Morningstar. I really want the Secret Rare. This card's amazing, especially with the new trap, because you can use it to clear their whole field, and most people don't know what Darklords do. I think I played 2 people who knew what Darklords do, so yeah, this card's amazing for the board wipe. Usually if you pull it off, there's nothing they can do. Then for the supplementary engine, we have 3 Dawn Angel Camby. Might experiment cutting this to 2, but it came in clutch, because people, when they see this, they're like, what the fuck? And they don't know what they're playing against half the time. And little do they know, it's Fairy Slop. 3 Promoa. I was playing 2 for the longest time. I'm trying out 3 now, just for the extra scale. And also just, this deck's biggest problem is it can brick sometimes. So, yeah, I wanted to try it out. Honestly, I normal summon this more often than I do the Jehudi, because once you get your pendulum scales, you're off to the races. You just pendulum summon Jehudi, and then they get fucked. 1 Cutia, also mandatory. 1 Solfegia. Honestly, this is probably one of the best, supplementary fairy engines you could possibly run. Most people freak out when they see the spell, and they try to ash that, which isn't a bad ash at all. But they should always try to ash the Googleette. That's why I always start out with this, because they don't know what I'm playing. And so they'll try to stop this, and then I get to the real engine. It's kind of just like when you start out with a Fiendsmith, and they stop that, and then you go to your Yummy or whatever you choose to play for that day in your Fiendsmith slot pile. And then last engine monster, the Hyperion. love or hate relationship, but I actually really enjoy it just for the extra extender and because it chain blocks the Golgolet, and I'm not gonna lie, that's 98% of the reason I run this. Plus, you could just discard it off whatever you need. For example, for like a Herald of the Orange Light. There's my third copy right here. 3 Herald of the Orange Light. Amazing card. Won me several games. Probably one of the best hand traps you could possibly run if you can run it. And this deck sure can. And last monster, 3 Fuelos. Think I only came up twice, but it sure did come in handy. No Ash Blossom in the main. Didn't really miss it too much neither. I know it's a little crazy, but whenever they Fuelosed me, I just only gave them like 1 draw, and then didn't really give a shit. Happiness, this got ashed so many times, and then I just went to my Darklord engine if I was lucky enough to open with it. And this card's just pretty amazing. You almost exclusively use the first effect, but I swear one day the second and third effect's gonna come up. You'll see. Amazing card because it doesn't discard for cost neither. Sometimes I wish it did for the Golgolet, but hey, what can you do? And then we got 3 Banishment. You already know. Mandatory. I can't tell you how many times I top decked this card and just won me the game. Darklord Contact, almost just as good as Banishment, but it's a one of. And then 1 Dance. I keep like going back and forth about wanting to play 2 or even side deck 2, but honestly, it didn't really come up much. It only got ghost spelled like 1 time as well, and then I just copied that shit, so I didn't care. And then I was kind of going back and forth on this, but 3 Forbidden Droplet. Sometimes I cut out a copy or 2 going first, but I usually always try to keep in 1. And let me tell you, I top decked this a few times, and that's the only reason I won. And then Forbidden Crown, I was, before it was in the side, but I'm so glad I made the 1 copy. I only own 1 copy, but this is the only deck that could actually really search it, so you only need 1 copy for the most part. And it sure is good against Cool Tune, let me tell you. And then last spell, Foolish Burial. This was like a last second add-in to make it 41 card deck. But the Foolish Burial came in clutch. Once. I don't know. I figured it's a 1 card starter, so why not? And then I ran all 3 traps for for my last 3 cards for my 41 card deck profile. Just really wanted to try this. It only came up in match 1, and then I'd usually side it out going second. But it was pretty good, because if I'm not mistaken, it can cheat out the Darklord Morning Star or Evening Star, whatever its name is. And it can also it's just an extra extender during your opponent's turn. The traps in this deck are just really, really good. This is goated. And I know 3 was a little much, but I really liked all 3. And if anything, I just discarded it off of the Zixel. And not only that, but you could discard any fairy to activate its effect, so that's pretty neat. On to the extra deck. We'll go through it pretty quickly. We just got 2 Evening Star. I only needed 1, honestly, but it came up. And then, like many times. And then first Darklord. This kind of just won me my last match, just because he couldn't out it, and he couldn't, he had a Bestial Druis Worm, and he couldn't link off his Link monster, so he just kind of got fucked on, because even if he did link it off, nothing was strong enough to beat a 5,000 attack point first Darklord, so that was pretty cool, and I just clutched out the victory. 2 Condemned Darklord, really, really good. It's just... even if you can't Pendulum Summon by the time you finish your Sulfa Chord line, you could always just link off 2 almost every time to make Condemned Darklord. And once you do, this card pretty much gets you going. So, and it's really good fodder for your traps. Ran 2 of these because someone told me to. And, yeah, I'm glad I did. It got banished off a Cool Tune once, so thank God for the second copy. This card's just really good for chain blocking. It's a non-target pop. I like it a lot. Proxy never came up, but in theory it can. I've never resolved it. But, hey, it's there. Herald, awesome card. just gives your opponent an extra headache. This card didn't come up today, but it can, and it sure is good. SP Little Knight, like the only non-fairy in the deck, in the extra deck, other than Typhon. Musica, literally don't even read the card. Don't even waste your time. You only just use it so you can use your Primoa to add back the Solfegia. And then Coolia, which is if they let it go untouched, you wind up getting to your Omni Negate. And it's not the best Omni Negate in the world, but it's still an Omni Negate. And even if you have to like use it to stop your opponent during your own turn, I linked it off one time to make the Herald link, so that was cool. And then Typhon actually came up once and won me the game. I thought I was so screwed, but it came up on the in the Elf Note Yummy deck, and he couldn't kill me on his next turn, and then I was able to go off from there. So that was amazing. Couldn't believe it. Usually you just lose when that card has to be played, but it came up. And then somehow I wasn't fairy locked neither. Cool. Side deck 3 Ash. Sometimes I put it in. 2 Droll came in against the Elf Note player. 2 Nibiru came up once. And then we had Darklord. This guy, I really want to main deck him, but he really, just if anything, because he's the extra copy effect when he's on the field, but he really didn't come up at all. And then I could probably just cut this. This was like a last minute addition to the side deck, but I felt the need to play it. And yeah, it's I didn't side it in once, didn't use it once. There was half the reason was because there was a player who was like continuously telling me, oh, you need to use it, you need to use it. So literally kind of just to prove him wrong, I didn't. I didn't even really know how the line worked until I got there. But yeah, I feel like it's really gimmicky and win more. And usually you just win by clearing your opponent's board on their own turn. So who really gives a shit? And then, so I might just cut it for a 3rd Lightning Storm and then maybe like something else. Then the Harpy, these kind of came up a lot actually. And then Called By, I might try to put this in the main deck. It's a great card as always. And then last one is the Enchantment. And I actually did side it in once. And it would have just been win more. But it's still a really cool Snatch Steal-like card. So, yeah, like I said, I might cut the Asmodeus and the Christia just so I could put in like a talent or a another Lightning Storm. But this was the deck profile, and 5-0 first place at a pretty competitive locals against some pretty good decks. Other than the last round, every deck was pretty competitive. And even the last round, the guy played well. So, yeah, man, really impressed with how it performed. I just came to have fun, but I had fun all right. And, I mean, hey, RNG and taking your opponent by surprise goes a long way. Maybe I'll even try to play tomorrow and see how it does at another locals, but we'll see. That's the Darklord Sulfur deck profile, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Nothing really out of the ordinary, but I just wanted to share it because it had good results against some good players. So, yeah, peace.